It's a good morning to you. My name is Tanaka and welcome to Cite on Asake Online. Today we are coming to you live from Matobo, Ward 17, where there is the launch of the preservation of threatened sun rock art at Matobo Hills World Heritage Site. This program is being funded through the U.S. Ambassador's Fund for Cultural Preservation. And to officially launch it is U.S. Ambassador Pamela Tremont.
In 2001, the United States created the Ambassador's Fund for Cultural Preservation to preserve cultural heritage around the world. Then Secretary of State Madeleine Albright wanted to open the new millennium by celebrating World Heritage activities. She thought that by showing America values diversity of culture, we may be able to build stronger ties of understanding and peace throughout the world. Since 2001, U.S. embassies in 140 countries have used the power of cultural preservation and thousands of these projects to spur economic development, engage women and youth, and cultivate respect for cultural diversity. This Ambassador's Fund for Cultural Preservation project is the latest of 8 in Zimbabwe. Our other programs include support for Great Zimbabwe, preserving other Shona ruins, documenting Ndebele cultural practices, building a database of precious artifacts for the Museum of Human Sciences, and now preserving San rock art. This project epitomizes what the Ambassador's Fund for Cultural Preservation aims to accomplish: protecting and celebrating unique cultural heritage led by local communities and experts. This project will complement the work done by numerous Zimbabwe institutions represented here today, who are responsible for the preservation and documentation of this cultural heritage. Thank you for your unflagging leadership and your passion to protect Zimbabwe's story. We're grateful to our partners implementing this project, the Friends of the Museum of Human Sciences, the Amagugu International Heritage Center, the University of Zimbabwe's History, Heritage, and Knowledge Systems Department, the invaluable support of the National Museums and Monuments of Zimbabwe and UNESCO will document and protect San rock cultural heritage treasures for the future. We've been proud to partner with Zimbabwe's preeminent cultural heritage managers on programs since 2007. I'd like to thank Patisa Nyati, who I understand is not able to be with us today, Dr. Kamalo, Dr. Katsumundanga, NMMZ Acting Director Munyikwa, and other NMMZ staff members and UNESCO officials for leading this project and for championing the preservation of rock art. In addition to the guidance provided by academics, local experts in Matobos will lead in the documentation and interpretation of these sites. I will look forward to hearing the stories of these projects. Your voices and perspectives will shape the project's direction and build long-term sustainability in rock art preservation. We've seen the impact of cultural heritage on socioeconomic development, especially in tourism and education, and we hope for that in this region as well. I was at a prize giving for the My Beautiful Home project, of which this homestead is an incredible example. By protecting rock art, together we can open doors for sustainable tourism initiatives that can benefit local communities and build cultural pride across generations, just as the painted homes have. The Amagugu International Heritage Center has been an incredible leader in this space, ensuring the next generation has firsthand experience in keeping cultural traditions alive through school visits, community outreach, and study. So as we launch this project today, let's commit not only to protect this beautiful rock art and cultural heritage, but also to show it and share it with the world. Thank you for your partnership and your dedication in preserving Zimbabwe's heritage. Ngibonga.
Esibonga bonke laba abasixhasileyo lo lalabo abasungula uhlelo lolu abanjengoba uphathisa Nyati. I was just trying to translate a bit of what the ambassador said so you didn't miss anything. For now, I did this deliberately. We are very blessed to have amongst us our esteemed community leaders. Amongst them, or including them, there is Umama Councillor Ndlovu, Baba NP Ndlovu, Ngale sibe lama villages ababili ubaba umoyo. So these are our fathers and mothers who take care of us, who've been also supporting us throughout this project. Without them, we are nothing. Siyabonga kakhulu. So those are our leaders. Thank you so much, Ambassador.
The project that we are here launching today started when we identified that the rock art is an important resource for the country, but it is also under serious threats, and we would want to help to preserve it. So the rock art of Zimbabwe is an important resource that has historical and scientific value. The art in Zimbabwe, and especially that in Matobo here, has been dated to more than 10,000 years ago. It's more than 10,000 years according to recent studies. It shows us that by that time, people of the area had already begun communicating through visual art. Just like perhaps I've been seeing lots of paintings of houses. You are trying to tell a story, you are telling us something. The same also applied to the painters of the art in the rock shelters that we have here. This is so because the art had meaning to the people, and they had to share and exchange information. Part of this were social lessons, and in other contexts, it was spiritual and religious information that they were communicating to others. We see dancing figures, we see images of animals, we call some of the scenes hunting scenes, we see images of people gathering plants, fruits, and so forth. So these are stories that we can read from the art. Sometimes we also see strange figures, some that look like animals with human features, and they are trying to tell us about certain transformations that perhaps people would go through in their journey in life. So there are many stories and interpretations that we can make from the art. But the limited, and if not the lack of continuity in the making of the art in this country has led to limited understanding of what the art was really for and how it was made. The art has therefore tended to be interpreted in various ways. We try to understand it when we identify patterns in the panels, we identify themes in it, and then we begin to derive meaning from it. We also learn from its location and the material substance that has allowed the art to continue to exist up to now. Above all, oral traditions, or ethnography as it is called, collected in the early part of the 19th century among San communities in parts of Southern Africa, such as South Africa, have provided further insight into the art. There has been a little bit of continuity, I think, in this part. I would want to appreciate what has been found through this project, that some of the shelters have continued to be used today for various purposes by communities of today. I am pleased that in this project we have come to learn of production of paints from the communities here. The way you produce the paint mirrors to some extent how the paint that was used in the rock art was manufactured. We are yet, of course, to confirm what materials were used in the past, and this is part of the learning that is going on today in the universities. Academics have been searching on this for many years to try and find out how the art was made. And perhaps we can learn from what you are doing here. I have seen from your previous courses, the training that has been conducted through this research, through this project, what you have been doing to come up with paintings. Because of its importance, efforts have been made to preserve the art for present and future generations. Rock art has been facing some challenges in spite of the durability of the paint itself. Environmental threats and human-induced threats are challenges that heritage professionals have been battling with. Of course, climate change also has brought in new challenges in the preservation of the art. Due to its importance in providing insight into the past, the art should be preserved. Various organizations here represented by national museums, ourselves in the universities, tourist organizations, independent organizations like Amagugu International Heritage Center, and many others have been looking at ways of protecting and preserving the art. So the role now has been kind of extended to the local communities. Of course, we have been living with the art, protecting it in various ways, but we are now looking for an extended role for communities. And I really appreciate what has been going on in here, because from this project, I think we have a way of maintaining and preserving the rock art. You have seen the benefits of the art. You are incorporating lessons from the art into perhaps what you do on a daily basis in this area. So at Pomongwe and at other places, we have looked for ways of preserving the art. We have identified that there is dust that is accumulating on the art. We have identified that there are animals, birds, and other birds that are splashing dirt on the art. So we are looking at ways of preserving and arresting the deterioration of the art. So in the coming few weeks and perhaps in the next month, we want to work at Pomongwe to try and pave the floor so that the dust does not continue to rise up and affect the art. We have also crafted a 4-year program of monitoring the condition of the art so that at the end of the day, at the end of the 4 years, we will come up with an interventive way to try and preserve the art. And I would want to say this is a project that we will implement together with the communities around here to make sure that that art is preserved for present and future generations. And I want to end by saying that we are doing all this because of the generous funding that we have received from the American Ambassadors Fund for Cultural Preservation. This has made it possible for us to implement the project, and we really thank them as a project, as project participants, and perhaps on behalf of our training institutions, we are pleased with that intervention that we have received. With that, I thank you very much. Ngiyabonga.
Everyone is looking lovely, eh? Lijani bo mama. Mina ngiyafuna kuyipopoza. Ake ndishayele kancane. Mina ngiyafisa ukuyipopoza. Thank you very much, Mama. You know, I've been doing murals for the past two decades, and we've been trying to pioneer the movement because it's been a movement that people have always associated with vandalism and all that stuff. There's always been a negative thing with muralism and graffiti and stuff. So I think I'm in the generation to change that whole perspective and make it with our roots, where we come from as Africans. And I noticed that our history is full of a lot of muralism. It's like we used to communicate by writing on the wall. So for me, when I got an opportunity to be part of this project, it was like a hallelujah for me. I was like, wow, this is an amazing opportunity. So coming to this place, Matobo, is very rich. It's culturally rich. And these ladies are amazing. As you saw the beautiful homes, what these ladies are doing. So the criteria of which we chose the ladies that we're working with, we chose ladies who already have a background of doing art and stuff. So, and we chose leaders on each village that we went to on the ward. We had to choose creatives and leaders. So the reason why we did that is I know these ladies, when we teach them what we teach, and it's not about me teaching them, but we teach each other. So they'll obviously go spread it to their cousins and sisters and children and all that stuff. So that's the direction of the criteria in the way we chose the ladies on doing this project. And number 3 is after choosing these people, we had to identify and go to the sites, different sites, and trust me, that wasn't an easy job. Like, I'm sure you saw the road networks. It's quite difficult because you'll be thinking moving from one village to another is an easy thing, but you get into a situation where the road is bad, and so you'll be thinking we're gonna take maybe an hour or 2 to go to one place, and it turns into something else. So when we identified those places, we took pictures of the artwork. Then after the artwork, we underwent some training. And in that training, the main thing that I looked at as a visual artist was to make them understand the principle of colors, make them understand form. And the most important thing that we did was to try and break down and understand exactly what the Khoisan people used to use, like to make paint. So I gave the participants a task to actually come with things that they thought were used by the Khoisan to make paint. So people came with indigenous fruits, and we crushed them, and we did a couple of experiments and stuff. So from that there, we're wishing to take it to another level where we preserve the art by actually painting it. And now we're thinking on painting it on slates, on rocks, because we want it to be as original as possible. So at the same time, one thing I love about this project is it mixes so many people, because we've got the documentation. Umastole there, she's doing a thing. Patisa Nyati, who couldn't be here today, I hope he feels better. He's writing a book and documenting this as well. And on our side, as a creative, I'm learning a lot. It's been an eye opener for me, because I think it's gonna take my artwork to another level. So yeah, I'm not good at talking. I only talk using paint and the canvas. You know what I'm saying? So I think I don't have to say much, but that's all I can say. All I'm wishing is we take this this project to another level, and we really explore deeper. Even when we're visiting the sites, I noticed we were supposed to get more time and more days, because there's so many things that we can learn from those sites, even in terms of archaeological remains. Because at most places we noticed that there was some archaeological remains of iron smelting and all that stuff. So I think these places are very rich, and we need to take good care of them. And I'm glad as an artist I'm playing a part. I never thought I was going to play a part in such a project. So yeah, I'd like to thank everyone who made everything possible. And yeah, thank you very much. Good people.
Spinks,
My brother.
Leroy.
Yes.
Okay, I just want him to explain the song. Boboza, Boboza, what does it mean?
Oh, that song, Powoza. Hey, let me explain. The reason why I told them to sing that song. There were times when we were going to sites, and that's one thing I love about creatives is they were singing that song in the car all the way there. And so that song, Powoza, it actually means reveal, pierce. It's like piercing. So they were talking about, let's pierce the secrets of the caves and all that stuff. Because when they grew up, all those things were more like taboo. You couldn't talk about them. Like going to the caves and preserving stuff. It was too sacred and stuff. So when they say mina ngiyafuna ukuyibhoboza, they say I want to pierce this issue and know about it, reveal this issue to the people. So it's quite an interesting song. Mama sizacela lisibusise when we're done, eh?
Yes.
Andy, mama.
Sure.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. One time, man.
Yeah, for me, that song, it was important that you know the translation, what it means. Otherwise, you are going to lose it. So we are thankful he has given us the community overview. It's been a lot, hey? It's been a lot. But preserve, document. We've got the press, we've got our camera people that we work with. We have two. We work with Ubabu Ngwenya, Cornelius of Ngwenya of here, just in front next to me here, of top photos. I mean in this program, in this project. And then we have Priscilla Stole, that lady there with rock art dress. Her media is called Bicycopo. Bicycopo. I don't know, does it make sense? So it's now ndebelerized Bicycopo. So that's a media name. And all the other media houses here today, we are thankful in assisting us to document our preservation. So now we are going to be awarding certificates.
Mavis Mube. At Sniggy wa Dube. Sunrise Moyo. Tolagele Piri. Chale video. Thank you, Open Lovo. Sipo Tuve. Yes. Loveness Nove. Sipatisi wa Lovo. Judith Nove. Loveness Dube. Silibaziso Masebe. Then Florence Nyati. Ani ngube mnikazi wejawo.
Mama lo umakineza uwamba wonke Itilova kanjani umakineza uwamba wonke Hey wayisinde
Right, lastly, Ernest Dube.
Thank you very much for that presentation. This is our next step for now, as the ambassador is going there to participate. We are going to have vote of thanks.
These are some of the rock paintings we found outside.
Ubonile, okay, we are supposed to go ngale first to the rock art, but aside khona because of isikhathi. Ubonile nje imfanekiso ekhona lapha. La khona kana zakwenza then sebehamba, but laba bakhona I think umama uMancube uzasihambisa to go and view the rock art engale for those that are still here with us. But going forward, we are going to have vote of thanks by Todini, OM Museums and Monuments, and then from there, kuzalandela one of our community leaders, uHeadman, ubaba uNB Ndlovu. And then xa kuphela lokhu ke lizwisisise bakithi sonke into eqhathe kakhulu kabe sokuthathwa amafoto emipikitsha kubiyabizwa lapha sizaqala ngeamagugu bonke aba-under amagugu silo ambassador kulandele abe-friends of the museum belo ambassador kulandele abe-museums and monuments belo ambassador.
So after the training,
Lichayile izandla ngapho siyabongela kakhulu.
so that we carry everyone's spirit, and it's a thank you for this opportunity to do this.
I can't imagine a better thing.
Okay, cheers. Kulungile, hayi ulihambela.
I think it's soon nje akulo nto kupha kungayi.
Just at least it was a minute, eh?
The National Museums welcomes a multi-stakeholder approach to the conservation of this art. And this project which we are gathered here for, it's one typical, unique, multi-stakeholder approach to conservation of this art. I have been in the institution for a bit of time now, but I must acknowledge that this is a unique project where we have seen, one, communities actively participating in the documentation of rock art. And it's even more exciting that the communities which live with the art are the ones who are taking interest in documenting and conserving the art. So I think you need to clap hands for yourselves. It's very exciting to have that. And it's even more exciting that we have received support from the Ambassadors Fund to undertake this project. It could have not been in the capacity of National Museums as an institution to be able to do all this. But we have stakeholders like the American Ambassadors Fund for Cultural Heritage coming in to support the efforts. We also want to thank the Amagugu. The responsibility and the role of Amagugu in cultural heritage preservation, I think is well documented. And taking it further to get into rock art, it makes it even more exciting. I want to thank the University of Zimbabwe for the leading role which they have been taking. I want to thank the artists. I've also not had many projects where artists participate particularly in rock art, and I think it's very exciting, and we want to thank the artists for training, for leading the community initiative, and also want to thank the local leadership, traditional level, political level, for the support. Without that support and that ecosystem, it becomes very difficult to implement this kind of projects, and we are really excited about that. And I want to tell you, our efforts, everyone's efforts here, the media, it is going to go a very, very long way in making sure that we preserve our rock art, which we can use for educational purposes for our children, which we can use for enjoyment, which we can use as economic resource through tourism. And I really want to thank you for that. And may we keep up the fire burning, and may we keep on pushing and putting more effort to make it even better and even spread it to other regions of Zimbabwe.
The curator for the upcoming exhibition. Yeah, just greet them and wave. So, yeah, that's the guy there.
I would like to salute Her Excellency, the Ambassador, and I would also like to salute my chief, who is leading the Nzula community. Our area is called Kumalo. It's a Kumalo community, and our chief is the Nzula, belongs to the Nzula clan. Right. I also want to salute everybody here, especially all the specialists, scientists that are here. I recognize Dr. Kumalo. I've met her before, and I am very glad when I see her also amongst us here. Dr. Seke. I will leave it at that, because even the person who was introducing you couldn't proceed beyond beyond that. So I thank everybody else, the media that is here, and I'll tell you what, your presence here has provided us a lot of warmth. We feel warm today in this area because we are the community that is privileged to live in this beauty. And when we see people coming to give us the support to keep and preserve this beauty, we are very grateful. It actually makes us understand the environment that we are actually living in. So we thank you very much. We know as a community, we have to preserve this, and our campaign would be zero tolerance to defacing the environment and trying to change it to something else, because it has existed for many generations and it still has got to exist so that the people that will live in generations to come can still enjoy this beauty. So we are very grateful that you have been here, and ngithanda futhi ukuthi ngibonge bomama ngiyakwazi ukuthi khona ukuthi liphiwe izithupha, angithi akuqhakathekanga njengethuba leli liliphiweyo ukuthi ligide. Ngathi ngihamba kwenye community, another part of our country, ngangilaba amajaha ayile elama camera. Omunye umama wathi yena ngesishona nongedzera camera kuno uone kudzana kwandinoita. And he was actually saying, point the camera to me and see how much I can dance, because people like to dance to the camera. So thank you for the nice dances. And we also thank you because you provided, you stimulated our people to show their smile. This place was beautiful, not only because of the art and these other things, but because of the beautiful people that were actually smiling. Because the reason why we smile is to try and expose how much beautiful or handsome if you are a man. But I think I qualify under beauty. So thank you very much for the time that you actually spent coming here. And I know it has been a very busy day. You have been to Amagugu there, and then you still proceeded to come here. We would have loved probably the whole community to be moved to this place as well when you are here, so that they accompany you and there are more smiles, so that even when you go back, you still enjoy the sort of smiles that you actually saw. Some funny ones, some, something like that. But anyway, thank you very much. I thank the media for coming and covering these sessions. Thank you very much.